Hello everyone, this is Arrow, and welcome back to Sundown Moon Up Podfics. Today we will be continuing Fuck Bullies by RandomWeirdCat. Chapter 8, Summary. Izuku was placed in a room with Hitoshi and Dabi. He wasn't in the room he was in before. This room was much larger and it had 2 beds in it and 1 bathroom. All for One said the heroes are coming, Izuku said hopefully. Dabi raises an eyebrow at the name. They did? Too bad for them, they missed their chance. Hitoshi sighs. It's not their fault. You guys have a fucking guy made of mist who can warp you across fucking cities, he sasses the villain. And they have 100 police officers and over 50 capable heroes, Dabi says, with just as much sass as Hitoshi had. Do you have to be this close? Izuku questions. Dabi sat on one of the beds with him. One of Dabi's very warm arms were thrown around Izuku's shoulder. Yes, I do. Hitoshi glares. He sat on the other bed. He originally wanted to sit with Izuku, but Dabi took that spot very quickly. Okay. Dabi rolls his eyes into the back of his head. No, if you aren't comfortable, you tell the situation to fuck off and everyone to back up. Or tell them if they don't realize you were uncomfortable. Dabi tried to give advice. Izuku winces at the cursing and glances at Hitoshi. I'm uncomfortable. Dabi's warm arm pulls away from Izuku and he scoots over a little and then with his hands raised. See? Some assholes listen. Others, just kick him in the balls. Izuku snorts. That's a very violent method. I'm a very violent person. Why? Izuku's interest was piqued. Dabi's smirk fades into a frown, and he glances away. I grew up being surrounded by violence and abuse. After a while, you just become violent too. I don't know how the fuck you stayed an innocent potato with everything that happened in your life. Dabi crosses his arms. He flicks his fingers, and fire dances on his fingertips. Izuku watched the blue flames. It lit up brighter than the lights above him, and it was just beautiful. The word falls out. Izuku's cheeks turn red, and it goes up to his ears. The fire pauses and goes out. Dabi's finger smokes lightly. What? Your quirk, it's really beautiful, Izuku mumbles. Dabi snorts. He holds his hand open, and fire erupts from his palm. Thanks, but it isn't beautiful. Izuku almost wanted to touch the fire. The quirk's suppression cuffs made him realize what he was about to try. Well, I think it is. He suddenly starts thinking about Todoroki and how he disliked his flames as well. Izuku debates with himself if he should say anything. Dabi pats Izuku's cheek. You remind me of someone I used to know. Izuku looks up into the man's turquoise eyes. I do? Yeah, you probably know him too. Dabi glances away. He smirks. I like your quirk too. The lightning's cool. The bone breaking isn't though. Izuku deadpans. I don't really break my bones anymore. Dabi chuckles. He scratches at a staple under his eye. That's right. Good for you. That right? Good for you. Izuku saw Hitoshi grin. He's seen that grin before. It was from the sports festival. Did you get those burns from someone, or did you do that to yourself? A chill goes through Izuku. Dabi's eyes are suddenly cold and angry. They lost all their warmth. Not really your business, jackass. Hitoshi raises his cuffed hands in defeat. All right, it's not my fault I wanted to know why you look like a burnt chicken wing. Oh, I can see how this relationship is gonna go. Hitoshi lowers his hands. Really? Yeah, we're gonna end up punching each other. How did this all go so badly? Maybe it was everyone rushing to find Izuku and Hitoshi after they all seen the videos. Maybe it was how nothing happened when they entered the abandoned building. Maybe it was finding Tomura Shigaraki spread out on a bed, drinking a cocktail. All Might and Endeavor burst through one of the walls. They look around and only see Tomura. The man had sunglasses on his face, along with a grin. "Hey, slowpokes," the villain said. He takes a sip of his cocktail and hums. "Where's Izuku Midoriya?" All Might growls, his fist already raised and ready to attack. "Not here. Neither is Hitoshi Shinsou. Sorry, but not really. It's not like any of you were gonna save them. Not when you let a bully into UA, and let that idiot have a family." Tomura points to Endeavor. The flaming hero growls and sneers. "Shut up, villain." "You, villain," Tomura shot back. All Might jumps forward. He grabs Tomura by his shirt and grabs both of his hands with one of his. "Where are they?" Tomura rolls his eyes and coughs. "Geez, I wasn't even doing anything, idiot." He tries to adjust, but All Might lifts him higher into the air. "I won't let you escape this time." All Might glares. His blue eyes shine brightly. Tomura sighs. "Obviously, we're on different sides." Purple portals open. Nomus appear on either side of Endeavor. "Attack!" Tomura screams. The Nomus slam into each side of Endeavor. The flaming hero slams his fist into the muscly one's head. Tomura cackles. "You're gonna risk me getting away, or help your buddy?" All Might doesn't hesitate to throw Tomura into the ground and punches the water Nomu. Kirigiri appears next to Tomura. He places a hand on his head and mumbles, "I told you the cocktail was a bad idea." They disappear before a burst of flames hit them. All Might slams his fist into the Nomus. "Texas smash!" Some of the walls burst from the pressure. The bed breaks, and Endeavor is pushed back. Eraserhead comes running from one of the destroyed walls. "Hitoshi's gone. Did you find—" "No." All Might scowls. "The League—" "Gone." Endeavor growls. "This was for nothing. This was a waste of time." He goes to turn, but his wrist is grabbed. Endeavor's flames flicker, and he's turned to face an angry All Might. Enji gulps, a bead of sweat rolling down his forehead. "What? This was not a waste of time. This is our job, and we need to find these boys before they get hurt, or we'll find them dead. Do not argue with me right now, Todoroki." All Might spat through his teeth. Enji knew there were times when he needed to stand down, and now was one of those times. Endeavor kept his mouth shut and his head down. All Might let go of him with a huff. "I'm sorry, shut up already." Endeavor walks away and past All Might and Eraserhead. Chapter 9. "So, we're adopting them?" Spinner questions. His mask was off and his hair was stuck up a little. Tomura has ice packs on his back and was lying down on the stools. "Yes." Dobby holds his hand out. "Pay up." Spinner digs in his pockets for $1 and puts it in Dobby's hand. "I wanted to be the one who bet we were going to adopt them. And I wanted to be part of BTS. We don't always get what we want." Dobby shrugs and pockets the money. Tomura glances up from the stools. "Really?" "No, dumbass." "Jackass." Tomura covers his eyes with his wrist, making sure to lift his pinkies, and shifts away carefully. Kirigiri came back with more ice packs. Himiko and Jin are doing Izuku and Hitoshi's hair. The screen from the counter turns on. "Tomura?" The villain shoots up from the stools. The ice packs slam into the floor below, and Kirigiri goes to pick them up with the help of Compress. "Sensei?" "What is your plan now? The heroes are still searching. They will eventually catch up and find Izuku and Shinsou. You obviously can't convince either of them to join the villains either." Alphonse's voice rings out through the bar. Tomura glances at Kirigiri and Compress with a muted apology. "I know we can't convince them. They want to be heroes, but being heroes is a terrible life sentence and I can't let them go back. Everyone saw the scars on Izuku. The so-called heroes haven't even done anything, and The rambling continues until Kirigiri places a misty hand on Tomura's shoulder. "Remember to breathe." "I know!" Tomura shouts. His chest rises and falls with deep breaths. I want to stay with them no matter what. I don't want to hurt them, and I don't want to waste all of our warehouses, and I can't bring them to the bar for very long without the heroes trying to attack them, and I can't let the heroes have them because they'll sweep everything under the rug. He slumps in his seat. Sensei, how do you do this? I've never adopted kids before. All for One laughs. Raising children is stressful. I can see the life of a parent is getting to you already. I'll add some immunity quirks to some of the Nomu. We'll keep one of them with our new sons. Tomura sighs. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. With that, the screen shuts off. Tomura relaxes. He leans back into the stools and sighs. The heroes are getting annoying. We knew they were already coming, but I got cocky and All Might almost ignored Endeavor and the Nomu. Tomura reaches for one of the ice packs when a warm hand grabs his sleeve. Shit, I haven't heard you talk this much before. You might need a break. Dabi pulls Tomura's sleeve and grabs a few of the ice packs. He places them on Tomura's back and flicks the other in the back of the head. Ow, what was that for? For messing with All Might and doing the cocktail bit. I had us stressed when you got back with fucking bruises on your back and ass. Dabi flicks him again and sits on one of the remaining stools. Sorry. Tomura closes his eyes and tries to release the tension in his chest. Jin finished the small braid in Hitoshi's hair. He scoots back and grins behind his mask. Done. I haven't really done this in a while, so sorry if it's messy, he says shyly. Jin glances at Toga and sees she was still having difficulties with Izuku's curls. You have so much hair, Toga huffs and puffs out her cheeks. She pulls her hands from the mess that was called hair. Izuku's eyes stayed down. Sorry. It's okay, but haven't you ever been to a hairdresser before? I tried to stay away from those. I don't have good experiences with them. Izuku's haunted and hollow eyes spoke 1,000 words. Himiko pokes the boy's cheek and hums. So, you were bullied since you were little, right? No, Kacha. Toga's eyes narrow. Kacha, nothing. Bakugo doesn't deserve a cute nickname when he's ugly inside and out. The silence in the air was already boring, but now it was really boring. Jin gets up from his spot and stretches. Speaking of bullies, Hitoshi, I can call you that, right? Jin asked. Hitoshi grins. No, it's Shinsou to you. Okie dokie, Hitoshi it is. Twice marches over to Toga and holds out a hand to her. She giggles and stands up. So, Shinsou, you weren't hurt or anything, right? Yeah. And everything's good at home? Toga jumps in the conversation. The two villains began to slow down with each other. Yep. Good. Bad. Jin bounces in his heels and changes the dance to a tango. Himiko laughs and spins him. Those two dad of yours okay? Twice says, while getting dipped. They were okay until you guys stole me like Swiper from Dora. Hitoshi glances up at the short strands of his hair in his face. Twice spins Toga now, and they change the dance to ballet. Did you tell them about the bullying? Twice stands on his tippy toes and almost stumbles if it wasn't for Toga holding his waist. Yeah, they took me to therapy and convinced me not to listen to those assholes. Hitoshi stares at Izuku as he spoke. He saw how the boy tries to shrink into the bed below. That's awesome. That's terrible. The two come to a stop. Himiko stands in front of Izuku. Now, why didn't your mom notice all the injuries or do something about it? She tried, Izuku argued. His mom only tried to talk to principal of one of the schools a very long time ago before she gave up. Not hard enough to make a change, Toga growls, and her fangs show. Izuku takes a glance at them, and his eyes widen. Toga shuts her mouth quickly and glances at Jin. You really have fangs. Is that for your quirk? What is your quirk? if you don't mind me asking. I haven't seen many people with fangs. That's amazing. I wish I had fangs like that. Izuku went off on a rant, and Himiko's eyes widened in shock and glee. Jin squeals. Aww. Toga just stood frozen like a statue. Izuku thought he did something wrong. Toga might not like her fangs. He should say something else. He needed to apologize. You like my fangs? Toga spoke quietly. That was the quietest Izuku's ever heard the girl. Izuku nodded frantically. They're really cool. So cool. I'm sorry if I... Toga's cheeks become red and she grins. I think I'm starting to fall for you, Izu. Nobody but the League has really complimented me before, so you're super special. She reaches her arms out and hugs him tightly. A flicker of silver catches Izuku's eyes. He freezes and flinches when he sees the knife. Toga breaks the hug and holds the knife to his cheek. I think I want some blood from you. She presses the knife closer and it starts to dig into Izuku's cheek. He glances at it and back at Toga. Do you need my blood, or is this just a random wanting? Because if you need my blood, I can give you some. Hopefully not a lot, because I might pass out and I think I'm rambling again. Izuku cuts himself off, with a bright face. The girl couldn't know about One for All. There had to be another reason she wanted his blood. The knife is pulled away and Toga just stares at him again. The glint in her eye disappeared. You let me have some of your blood? You don't even know what my quirk is. I could use that to hurt your family and friends. Oh, well, please don't. Izuku gasped when Himiko threw her arms around him again. I love you so much, and no, I don't need your blood. Thank you. You're the first person to offer me. Himiko pulls away and wipes her eyes. Jin, no matter what, Pinky promised me that we'll keep Izu. She holds out her pinky. Twice doesn't hesitate to make the promise. I promise. Toga glances over her shoulder at Hitoshi. I don't know about you. Tomura said he liked you though, so we'll have to hang out some more. Toga giggles. Hitoshi rolls his eyes. Whatever. Twice sits next to Izuku and immediately reaches a hand out to touch the boy's curls. Holy shit, do you brush this? I've got gloves in and I can still feel how curly this is. Jin presses down on the hair and they all watch as it springs back up. Izuku bites his lip. It's difficult, but it's easier when I get out of the shower. Toga's eyes light up. Oh, I wonder how long it would be if we straightened it. She bounces up and down. She grabs his arm and leans in. Izuku frowns and remembers what Dabi said. He didn't want to be mean or rude, but he was starting to get uncomfortable. Can you please back up? Please? Izuku bows his head and readies himself for them to say no. Toga lets go of him and Jin scoots over. Okay. Himiko sits on the corner of the bed and grins. Can we do each other's nails? I've got so many colors. Izuku raises his head with his wide eyes. They listened. That's new. Thanks, and these cuffs might ruin the nail painting. Twice jumps up. We'll just have to take the cuffs off. Hey, Shinsou, do you want your nails done too? Hitoshi's eyes widen for a split second. Yeah, can you guys do my nails black and green? Toga glances at Izuku with knowing eyes. Yep. Alright everyone, that is the end of chapters 8 and 9 of Fuck Bullies. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.